This video is brought to you by America First Insight. Help support the growing conservative movement by becoming a member today. And if you want to support this channel, you can also use the code REAL when becoming a member. Thank you and enjoy the video. So this is obviously a different type of video. I don't usually post this type of stuff, but I thought that the segment during today's stream was so powerful and impactful that I decided, you know what, I'm going to clip it, I'm going to release it as a full video so everyone could see why this was such a critical segment. And before I forget, guys, I need you to like and share this video right now. This is the best way to support the content. It helps the video out in the algorithm, so like and share the video right now. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button right now. Another great way to support the content. But enough the promotional stuff. Let's get into the video. So,
Tommy Lauren on Laura Ingram.
This might be the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. So you have somebody that's, Ingram's like, what, 68, right? She's up there in age.
Yeah, I guess so.
Tommy Lauren is 32, doesn't have any kids or whatever, and they basically went on Fox News and they bashed young people. They bashed Gen Z men, calling them stay-at-home sons.
You're lazy. Yeah.
Are you serious right
now?
I
do anything but stay at home. I mean, I don't, you know, so, and
Nice.
I'd say I'm anything but lazy personally. You know, I've driven in 72 counties since I got this Jeep in October, helping out,
you know,
the Republican Party, the conservative movement. So I don't know how I'm lazy. I'm definitely not a stay at
I mean,
I'm not claiming you. I'm talking about Lauren, the Fox News.
I mean, this is insane. So basically, you have older women complaining about young men. Well, did you guys not learn what the Democrat Party did? Why do you think young men voted Republican for the first time ever? Why? Or at least in modern history. Why do you think they did that? Because Trump offered them something different, and Democrats are bashing them. And now you're getting these two dumbasses who... What's the point? Again, I'm not saying every Gen Z man is like, you know, a man. Like, yeah, obviously I get that. Like, a lot of Gen Z men are, anyways. But they're just attacking young men for no reason.
A very astute commentator on X pointed out that Laura Ingram is a single mother, and Tommy Lauren is a childless 32-year-old woman.
Yeah.
So neither of these people are building necessarily successful families. Neither of these people are necessarily contributing to the nuclear family or to social cohesion, societal stability. They're just bitter for various reasons, and neither of them are married to a man at this moment. I actually think Tommy Lauren explicitly had like a really attractive partner. And she like he was supposed to be a decent guy, and she dumped him. So this is like bitter resent between bitter resent between a millennial woman and a Gen X / boomer woman.
Shit like this is why a lot of young men don't want to talk to women. Why, honestly, why else? Why would they? Just so they could bash you for being oh, you're lazy, you're horrible. I wonder why men
Why
are
would
not...
I talk to women when I could cover the Polish election?
But no, seriously, it's like, this is why a lot of young men are just like depressed. They gave up on life. I mean, who would want it? Who would want this? If you're a natural even bash men like this.
Well, you know, I come from a bunch of more traditional communities, whether it's my church life or whether it's from like online people or whatever. Or just the people that I'm friends with in real life. I come from more traditional backgrounds, and there is this really pernicious fault that happens with older men who have already been married and had families, and with older Gen X people and millennials. They look at the struggles of the young men, and instead of trying to actually like kind of empathize with them, instead of trying to like figure out how they can push themselves up, lift them up, with their own resources or with their own time or their own experience. Instead, usually they think that if they browbeat and you know kind of beat down the men, that like they'll grow tough, like they'll sharpen like a diamond in the rough. And it's something I'm very familiar with it. Like again, I'm Orthodox Christian. There's a lot of men, like Gen X men and millennial men in the Orthodox communities that act like this, and it's actually really despicable. Um, I of course, obviously, not meaning it for myself. My successes and my failures are my own. I own up to that fully. Um, but the whole thing about it is, I just see a lot of guys down on their luck that have legitimate reasons that they just hadn't, gotten exactly where society told them they're supposed to be, and none of this helps them. Browbeating does not help them. And again, it's one of these things we have to accept. We're not accepting oppressor oppressed dichotomies. We're not becoming woke. We're just admitting simple facts. The government has been discriminating against us. The government has been explicitly employing hiring practices so that people like us don't get hired. It's one of those things where it's like, and even the whole way the education system is structured against the prosperity of young men.
Yeah.
It's actually extremely biased towards women. That is why there's a bajillion more women graduating from college. And that's why there's like a giant gap. There's like a waving gap between women that are able to actually go and get like own homes and men that are capable of owning homes. There's a bunch more young women owning homes than men owning homes, and nobody seems to understand why that gender gap exists. And it's because of the education. It's
Also, like
because
the college
of the system.
disparity, too. Don't like way more women go to college now too? That's another thing.
And again, that's what I'm talking about. The education system, the way it's structured and the way that it's geared, is biased against men. And it's just one of those things. Like we don't have to be victims. We don't have to be woke. Let's accept facts. And I just ask people of that generation, of like the Tommy Lauren, Laura Ingram generations, cut the guys some slack and figure out, like, try to have some empathy for the people that the other side is demonizing and browbeating every single day. Do you think that after like a whole day of Democrats telling us we're evil demonic monsters, we want Republicans to just come back and be like, oh yeah,
I'm gonna say this. I said this on Twitter yesterday. Here's my warning to these dumbasses. Young men are a big reason Republicans won in 2024. We need to stop voting. Just we're not gonna vote. Good luck with your strategy. Good luck trying to win over with who do they got? Who do they got to vote for them? Because like with young men, if they just keep bashing us like this,
old boomer women.
Good
old
luck.
Boomer women.
Good luck.
And African Americans. That's their base.
That's your strategy. Jacob Hawley for 10. I work in the paper mill industry in Fredonia. On 23, Fox News absolutely blows. Old women complaining about young men. Seriously, get a job outside of news. Cry more, you neocons. Boo-hoo. American Nerd for 10. I live with my parents because I can't afford to live anywhere else right now, even with 2 part-time jobs. But these bozos think I'm lazy. What the F? Did Tommy Lauren call herself a pro-choice Republican? Yeah. She's a pro-choice Republican. For crying out loud.
I'm not a pro-choice Republican. I'm just a electable Republican.
Gosh. But, it's like, guys, I know plenty of guys, like, our age, like, young 20s and stuff. They have a part-time job. It sucks. They can't get a full-time job either. And they're just stuck. What are they? Is it their fault? Is it their fault they have a shitty part-time job they can't get out of? Because there's no one actually hiring anybody? Really? And the only people that can get a job now is people that have H-1B visas.
Or if you have connections, or if you get into politics. I found out you get into politics and know your shit, it's actually very easy to get job opportunities there. But I understand, most people don't want to go into politics, and that's fine, because it fucking sucks.
Yeah. Well, it's like, seriously, a lot of young men, people are like early 20s, like Gen Z men, they're getting screwed. And you're gonna bash them for being lazy? Guys, there's plenty of people I know. They're great. They had good grades and stuff. They had a college degree. They can't get anything but a part-time job right now. They can't.
Don't you understand, Rap? They need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Okay, that's what the baby boomers did. They paid off their student loans back when it was like $1,000.
Yeah, $1,000. They made $10,000 a year.
So And Tester is asking, like, okay, well, who cares? Make yourself the best out of it. Absolutely. I think that the best thing you can do as a man, take every productive thought that you have and generate it. Any thought that's like bad or despairful or anything like that, just throw it away. Throw away every single negative thought that you have.
Yeah.
And if you can't build up the discipline for yourself, do stuff like what Tyrone did. Go and like enlist in the National Guard, enlist in the Army. Like you can get yourself disciplined through the military or whatever else. Just do what you have to do to become a fortified man. And if you need help, go reach out for that help. And this is part of the problem. The reason we're talking about this is because the older generations that already, quote, got theirs in a slightly better environment than the one that the Gen Z kids are in. And the older you get, the better it is. Like the better and better the environment is. But these people that were in a better environment and got theirs and figured stuff out, they love to like wax poetic against the Zoomer men. And that is not, there's a demoralizing factor to it. Okay. So like imagine every other protected category and group in society that gets treated like a little baby bird, gets special grants for housing and education. And, you know, we look at all of those other protected categories that get treated like that. And then you see men just being treated like waste bins, like trash, like absolute garbage. And we're not saying that that's an excuse for you to not do anything with your life. I absolutely agree. Like, be as productive as possible. Only productive thoughts, throughout your bad thoughts. But if these people want to help young men, they are not going to do it pulling out the baseball bats and beating them more.
So someone in chat says that they have an aerospace degree and they can't get a job, even with that. I mean, like, I've heard some of things like this. Like, are you serious? You can't get a job with an aerospace degree? I mean, this is just, that's a job market right now. And these older people, they don't get it. They don't understand why young men are having issues with everything. They can't buy a house. Oh, they're living with their parents. Have you seen the housing market? Have you? All right, Shades Razik for 2. Iowa voter roll number. So much for blue Iowa. Yeah, it just gets bad worse by the second. But yeah, it just like, at this point, I don't know how, like, we get all this mindset that these boomers have. Well, I just wait till they die off, I guess. But the point is, I don't know. This philosophy is stupid. It's unhealthy. It's causing depression with young men. A lot of young men are more depressed now. It's not because
and from the voting perspective, the party angle, I think, is really important. If we're talking, let's talk politics instead of culture. If you want to get men to get out and vote, if you want, because like, again, women still vote more than men right now.
Yeah.
And we could change the entire electoral map just with a couple % more men voting every election cycle. If these political actors on TV and in Congress actually just stopped and started having more empathy for young men, they would vote more.
Yeah, they would vote more. I mean, like, guys, why do you think Trump won in 2024? Why do you think he won? He was offering an optimistic future for people. He was offering a future that they were hopeful for.
Yeah, if you're a politician, all you have to do to fucking minimum is be like, hey, look, you guys are not actually demonic. You're not pieces of shit. I'm going to invest in your trade. I'm going to invest in your education. I'm going to invest in your capacity to buy a first home. I'm going to try to actually make it easy for you to accomplish all the things that your parents effortlessly did, that it's actually just really insurmountable for you to fucking do. Like, that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do is you just have to look at young men and be like, hey, we're going to actually make the field advantageous for you. And that is like, if you just actually came with that message and you not even giving them special benefits or special grants or anything, just being like, I'm going to make the playing field better for you, then men would vote for you.